How's everyone doing today? This is Adam with Commander on a Budget. Today we'll be into another episode of Budget Brews. This card really caught my eye in the Streets of New Capenna Commander deck, so I wanted to go over it. It's going to be Tivit, Seller of Secrets. This is going to be Council's Dilemma / Council's Will Tribal. You're basically just going to vote for a bunch of cards, make a bunch of tokens. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. Let's hop on into it. So these first two cards are very pivotal to the strategy of how I would make this deck. Ballot Broker and Brago's Representatives basically give you an additional chance to vote on top of you getting another chance to vote because of Tivet. Some really key cards we're going to use those additional votes on will be cards like Council's Judgment, Magister of Worth, and probably the most pivotal card that we will actually be using when we're doing the budget portion of this deck for the voting part will be Plea for Power. This card's somehow under $5, and I don't understand how it is. This card's kind of insane, honestly, especially in this deck. There's also a few more extra synergies that you can run, especially when you want to use the whole vote mechanic. So you can run Split Decision as a counterspell, Tyrant's Choice as a way to drain some opponents or to have them sacrifice a creature for cheap. And Grudge Keep is a really good way to drain all of your opponents out while being able to finish up a whole bunch of votes. One last card that I'm going to go over before I go into the more utility side of this deck is Life Insurance. This is a really interesting build-around enchantment that I think could really do a whole lot of work in this deck. So definitely consider it. I think it's also in the exact same precon. I'm pretty sure it is. That being said, though, you want to also run a bunch of different ways to flicker Tivet. So Ephemerate's real good. Essence Flux is also another really cheap way for you to flicker stuff. Along with cards like Flicker of Fate, Flicker Wisp, and Ghostly Flicker are all fantastic ways that you can really utilize this Tivet's Enter the Battlefield effect. Along with that same guidelines, you could also run cheap reanimation cards like Victimize, along with the cards like Dread Return, where you can get an additional way to get the ETB off when you reanimate it. Havengal Laboratory, once it transforms into Havengal Mystery, is an absolutely fantastic way to reanimate stuff, and it's on a land of all things. Also, Ruthless Technomancer is absolutely fantastic in this deck. It has a bunch of artifact synergies, along with helping you make a whole bunch of treasures. It's real good. It's also still only around $3. Last section I'm going to go over is going over some Investigate and Treasure synergies that you can run in the deck. Eloise Nefalious Sleuth is absolutely fantastic. Deadeye Plunderers becomes a threat, and it can make you treasure. Thorough Investigation is absolutely fantastic value engine for all your clue tokens. Erdwar Illuminator, it lets you investigate an additional time. Disciple of the Vault drains people, along with Marionette Messer in that same kind of instance of whenever the artifacts enter the battlefield. These cards are real good. Some upgrades I want to go over. Academy Manufacturer, it makes a whole bunch of food and clue tokens along with treasures. Time Sieve lets you take extra turns. Don't forget Expropriate.